Okay, Volume 8 of the Bible story by Arthur S Maxwell. Get my mouth. And then my book my sets are 70 years old. This book has representation of Jesus right here, and the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes. It's supposed to be the representation of him feeding the 5,000, which is he 5,000 one time, and I think he did it twice that I can remember in uh, Sunday school. I know he did it twice. Uh, One was the 2 fish and the 5 loaves, and I forgot what the other one is, but I think it was not as much, and he had the same happened the same. Maybe there's a story of it in here for the rest of the book. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, Part 4, Story 2, Space Flight Promised. That's weird. Space Flight Promised. Well, yeah, he's going to give us a space flight. But you got to think, this is 1956, 55, 56. They were sending Sputnik up and all that, but we didn't land on the moon until 69, a little bit before I was born. Oh well. Okay, let me get to the story. How would the disciples ever get their loving homes Jesus promised them? I will come again, assured them, and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye shall be also. This was a solemn promise, and we may be certain he will keep it. True, he has not come back yet. He is still in his Father's house, but someday he will return for his own. And that will mean spaceflight for all of his faithful followers. It is marvelous to think about it, but 1900 years ago is actually been 2,000 years. Okay, but let me go back to the story. But 1900 years ago, long before all the modern talk about the voyages to the moon, long before little boys were buying space helmets and little girls were dreaming of trips to Mars and Venus, Jesus told his disciples they would someday journey through the universe. Yeah, but now they might not have very many girls that had the space helmets and wanted to be a space pilot. We had some. Got some. I just was watching something a while ago, and I'm just browsing up on Star Trek, and they used an astronaut, a literal, real astronaut, as an actor on one of the TV shows. Real one. Interesting. Okay, let me get back to the story. Okay, when he had, and then you gotta think, the guy who played Kirk got to go to space. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm Star Trek nerd. I'm Star Trek, Star Wars, any science fiction. Okay. Um. Okay. When he comes back to this earth again, he will receive his people to himself and lead them out through the wild blue yonder to his Father's house. Nor nor will it uh, nor will it only be Peter, James, John who are enjoying this rare privilege. All who have loved Jesus and men loyal to him will be able to go along too. The Apostle Paul was very clear about this when he wrote to the Christians in Thessalonica. Yeah, Thessalonica. That's we would call it Thessalonians, but it says Thessalonica. It's funny, and me say it with my southern accent. He said, "The Lord Himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God. And the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with Him into the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord." Imagine it, caught up together, and that's got the pause, in the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air. How very, very thrilling. In other words, we get to fly like Superman. Sailing out towards the moon, flying from planet to planet, off to the stars. Yeah, and we really wouldn't have to have a rocket ship, or or any kind of, or pod or anything. Okay, get back to the story. It seems impossible, but it must be true, for Jesus has promised it. And then it has a Herbert Rodin, and it's got a lot of pretty people on here. Got older people from ancient times, and then people from modern or up to current, and of all different ethnicities too. I got a lady that's got a French dress on, and then a lady dressed up like a native, and then a chief. They got a chief with his feathers on. He wouldn't. Well, I mean, it might be, but normally they don't bury themselves with their dresses. And the reason why I say that they don't put on the headdresses is because I've never really been to a Native American one, but I was just going by, when I was little, we we had the we went to an Indian assembly when I was little, because it was fun going to that Indian church when I was little. What I remember. Okay, so beautiful it so beautiful did it seem to the Apostle John that he couldn't get it out of his mind. One day God gave him a vision of the which followers of Jesus when the last they get to heaven. He saw them all wearing white robes, and the angels told and an angel told him, "These are they which came out of the great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple." And it's got the pause. "They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living fountains of waters, and God will wipe away all tears from their eyes." There it is again, the same glorious picture of Jesus leading his redeemed through his Father's house, where there are homes for all, and no one is ever hungry or thirsty or alone anymore. It is too good to be true, too wonderful to happen. No, too many, no. Many people today are talking about this, about space flight. They don't say it so much because we're 70 years in the past that. I mean, we got bits and pieces. I mean, the SpaceX going up, and then the blue one, the Blue Dragon, or whatever the blue one was. Um, let's see, had SpaceX, and then we got the blue one, and uh, and they were just the common people going up. Let's see, which one had the? I think the blue one is the one that had the Star Trek actor on it, and then I don't remember what the X. Okay, never mind. Okay, at last they are thinking. At least they are thinking it's possible, and scientists are telling us they believe they can solve they can solve the problem. But the greatest scientist of all has known all about it from the beginning. The Prince of Prophets saw it coming long ago. His thought was it first. He knew the secret of it too, and someday he plans to share the secret with all who love him. And then, of course, it has a picture of them coming into heaven's gate, and the people all dressed in white. It's a big, long one on this illustration. Very big. Look, coming in here at the top, and it goes down, and then all the people gathered at Jesus. Okay, well, that's part 4, story 2, and like always, it's the break. And then I'm going to take the break, and then I'm coming back, and we're going to finish out the rest of the book. See you in a bit.